Hey there, guys. Yesterday, just doing some tire flips, and a little bit of training in the garage gym, changing the layout and a bit. Typically, warming up for tire flips, I'll just do 2 sets of pull-ups first, 2 sets of 10, warms up the back, biceps, and that's predominantly the weak links when it comes to doing the tire flips. There's a few different ways of doing them. The technique that I'm using, I'm just trying to use quite a lot of legs and drive the weight up quite explosively. If this was a heavier tire, I'd want to lean forward into the tire and drive with my legs and my upper chest. I'd have a bit more contact with the tire that way. But the tire I have, it's not quite high enough to do that. And then, the ground that I'm on, it'd been raining the night before. If I was leaning, forward into the tire really quite hard, I'm just going to slip. And that happened on a previous training session, and I uploaded that as well. And then, there's the metal grate, and that's slippery as well. So, when lifting the tire up, if you try and lift it forward and extend your arm, you place a lot of stress on the bicep, and that's how people end up snapping biceps. So for me, I was still trying to use my arms as hooks, and then when I, get to about there, I try and put my hands, forward so I can push like a bench press. You never want to try and curl the weight of the tire up. You're just asking for injury doing that. And if you're ever in a position where you're trying to curl something heavy, try and get the weight or whatever it is as close to your chest and pull your elbow, back into your lat, and it sort of just reduces that chance. It's still not ideal, but it's just a better position to be in if you're going to do something with a bit of risk. I'm not quite sure how heavy this tire is. It has some decent weight to it, but at the same time, I've trained arms a fair bit in the past, and I have a good idea of what could possibly go wrong if I let the technique slip. And for me, I was doing 3 sets of 5 reps, so I could have done more than 5, but on one of the sets I got to the 5th rep and it really becomes quite taxing, and then my form's going to really break down, and that's when I'm more likely to resort to using as much body English as possible to get the movement completed, which just possibly can result in injury. Ideally, I'd like to work this up to that was what I was saying before, not curling it up, put my arms underneath, and it obviously doesn't feel like a good position to be in. So I'm trying to put it there and then drive with my stomach as opposed to curling it up, and using the legs to drive. I'd like to work up to 4 sets of 10 reps, and that really would be good for conditioning work. With tires, there's a lot of different things you can use them for as well.